Okay, well, I should introduce you. This is Joel, and please correct me on your last name that I always butcher.
You're good.
Villanos?
It's Villanos. And I didn't even know that till a year ago. I've been messing up my whole life, actually.
Wow, Villanos.
Yes.
Because I've always wanted to make sure I don't mess it up, but I'm the king of, for like comedic timing, just like saying it a little bit messed up, and then people are like, you're dumb.
Yeah, it's like, please. No, I get it. I've heard worser pronunciations
Worse or the worst
of my last name, but I used to say it like Villanos because I thought that's how it was, and I talked to my mom about it because my brother Simon would say it Villanos, and I'm like, if we're trying to do social media, we should have the same pronunciation. Like,
right.
We shouldn't be off on that. And I told my mom, she's like, well, it's Villanos, but I always say Villanos because it's easier for Americans to say it.
Right.
And I'm like, why are we appealing to that? I don't know. Maybe they didn't really care as much, but I'm like, let's just go with the original. So now I am learning to use the proper pronunciation of my name, and I don't blame anyone that doesn't get it right because it took me a while. So.
Hell yes. I like that, though.
Yeah.
That's cool. I feel like a lot of people experience that where their last names are just butchered down to like the most generic, like read it how it's spelled because they don't want to be like, I don't want to force anyone. It's like, no, this is my family lineage and you should like respect it.
Oh, your name is so important. So it's like, obviously you want it. And if it can be more unique, the better, I feel like. Too bad if it's too much of a hassle. Get them to say it right. And it's more rewarding.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Ariana Grande is the most iconic example.
Oh, yes.
Her grandfather like in some interview, she mentioned that he's, Ariana Grande. They're very like old Italian.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande, come here.
Gosh.
And so it is technically Grande, but like Grandi. They're like Italian though. Not the American like Grande, like we say at Starbucks.
Yeah.
It is like Grandi.
It's Grandi.
And she said in an interview that like, well, people just started saying my name differently. Everyone did, and I wasn't going to correct them. And it's just crazy that celebrities do that too. They're just like, well, the public has taken this and run with it.
Yes.
And I've always thought that I would correct them because mine is so mispronounceable as Heinz, and I don't want to be referred to as ketchup. It's the classic distaste for ketchup.
Yes.
I'm like, please, why are you calling me Hudson Heinz?
Hudson Heinz. Oh, that's terrible.
And technically it didn't have an E. And then the E was added during World War II.
Why?
When it was not a great time to be a German in America.
Oh, so you wanted to have some differentiation.
Isn't that funny? Because it was Heinz. Very German.
Yes.
And then my ancestors decided, guess not. We will change it to Hinz.
Yes. And that was that.
Right? And that's another thing is like at some point in history, we had to change it because we wanted to blend in. And now, especially, it's like, okay, reverse. Let's reverse, and now let's stand out. Like we want to find what makes us sound unique.
100%. And I think, that's good to think about because it's like, obviously back then, I think people were cool with blending in. Now, I think people want to stand out as much as possible. I can say that obviously because I'm older now, but I wouldn't know that before. But in some ways, I feel like you didn't want to stand out too much, especially being an immigrant family or anything crazy.
When it was like your life on the line and you kept having to be like, this is my name, please give me an apartment. You want to sound nice and American.
Yes.
And now it's like, well, we're a little bit more equality focused here.
This is great.
We have some non-discriminatory laws against more than just your name now.
Right.
Thank God.
Yes.
The question I've been asking everyone is Song of the Week.
Yes. Oh, man. Song of the Week. We will get into this later, but you'll know for now. I think there is a song by Mountjoy. Gosh,
I love Mountjoy.
I love Mountjoy. I think they're solid. And there's this one that I found. I was just scrolling through, thank God for Spotify Radio. But I think it's called My Vibe. And I just like the vibe. So I went with it. Right now, it's currently my favorite song. And I think that fluctuates like crazy. Like any week can be something totally different. It could be like a crazy EDM song or a rap song or an indie song like it is right now. But right now I'd say probably My Vibe by Mount Love.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. I'll have to check that out. I love most of their music, and I think that it's kind of like we mentioned before we started recording that sometimes I listen to things and I don't know who sang them. I don't know what the title is, and I'm like, this was amazing.
Right.
Adds to my playlist and doesn't actually read anything.
Yeah.
Like that's a very common thing I do, and I know lots of Mountjoy's music, so maybe this one will jog my memory when I go listen to it. But
maybe.
Thank you for the recommendation. I'll check it out.
Of course, thanks for asking. I think we were talking about it earlier, like you said. I think it's the Spotify effect, especially for me.
Yes.
Because I love Spotify. Sorry, Apple Music people. I don't think I'll ever give Apple Music.
People, go
I
away.
don't think I can give it a chance because I like how Spotify constantly suggests me new music and new songs, and I just want to have a stacked playlist that's 12 to 24 hours. That's the main goal.
Okay.
So if I can find something similar to what is in this playlist, the better. But because of that, because I'm just going through and like, oh, I like that song, quick add, move on, listen, next.
Right.
I don't really internalize like, okay, who is this by? What's the album? Who's the artist? And because of that, I feel bad because I'm kind of just skimming through it to add to how my vibes are feeling. But I do want to support these artists that I listen to like nearly every day. Makes sense to.
Yeah, I mean, Spotify is almost in a sense an inverse of the record store.
Yes.
It's the record store is the name, the album cover,
right,
the songs is all you have, and you don't even know what it sounds like.
Right.
And obviously there's those weird moments that people reference of like, nah, well, I'm friends with the owner and I'd put it on the record player. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to go do that in some random record store I go to. I'm not going to unbox something.
Yes.
And now it's the complete flip.
Right.
Album cover, artist, the title, all that doesn't matter because your Spotify is just playing the music. And I like to hope that the artist is happy about that.
Yes.
Because I feel like it promotes what they are working the hardest on, not the album cover or the title, the actual sound.
Yeah. No, 100%. I agree. And I think one thing maybe for me that I do hold on to because it's a quick look whenever I add a song to a playlist really quick is the album cover. So I'm like, okay, I know the sound, I know the album cover. So if I ever hear this anywhere else, I'm like, oh, I love this song. I have it on my playlist. Don't know what album it's a part of, but I like it a lot and I listen to it a lot.
Yes, like a cover definitely I will notice. I'll be like, I recognize that cover.
For sure.
Even if I haven't heard it, I'll be like, okay, I've something about that. It's like easy for my mind to remember an image.
Yeah.
For my song, I was kind of torn this week because I was going to choose "Naked" by Phineas, which was released a little while ago.
Yeah.
And the beginning is super funny. There's like, if you really listen in, he's like saying something really warbled in a microphone.
Yeah.
And then Billie Eilish laughs. And it's just funny because her laugh is pretty like iconic.
Is it?
And then the song like cuts right in.
Right.
And then the ending is like a really, really glitched out like beeping. And I'm a big fan of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Don't give me music. Give me roaches stepping on a little beeper, and I will listen to that.
Yes.
Like
the ambient noise.
The most like remixed, glitched out nonsense. I'm fully in that era of my life where I'm like, is this music? No. Am I having a great time? Like, yes.
Yes, of course.
I don't think I've successfully gotten through a single episode so far without talking about Charlie XCX, but I do have to reference track 10.
Yes.
Is my favorite recommendation for people who are looking into that kind of music because it's so weird. But give it a second listen and maybe see if you like the weird, like, I feel like people often freak out when it's off tempo and like lots of beeping. People are like, this doesn't sound like music. I'm like,
right.
Give it a try.
Give it a try. Maybe I need to give it a try because, I don't listen to much of Charlie XCX. I hope that doesn't break your heart.
Oh, no, it's okay. I think she definitely is the most like left field.
Really?
Especially right now, I'm happy that she's having her like mainstream moment.
Yeah.
Because this current album, I think, is a perfect, like, here's a modern song that sounds really like Charlie and sounds like something you could hear on the radio.
Yeah.
Whereas her past work is like super core to her, and her sound has been like, oh, I don't care what you think, or if it's going to be on the radio, I'm going to play it.
Really?
And she's had so much success from that, finding a group of fans who are like, I'm obsessed as well.
Yeah, that's an amazing feeling, I'm sure.
Right. So that's what I like about this Phineas song is I think that is becoming more mainstream. Like we're slowly leaning in, like even though it's like a couple weird beeps at the end of the beginning's kind of glitched out.
Yeah.
We're slowly seeing that like, I don't want to call it like glitchcore or like whatever the like, and I don't want to call it hyperpop either because Charlie has said that she doesn't like that term. I'm not sure why, but I'll just not say it because
what does she label her music?
She's always said that she doesn't like labels. I'm like, well, Charlie, that is not gonna like.
You gotta figure something out.
And that's why I think people labeled it for her.
Yeah.
As like hyper pop of just like that makes sense. Like the noises are super hyper.
Yes.
So that is kind of, I think it makes sense to me, even if she doesn't like the labels.
Yeah, I think it just helps us categorize in our mind, like
Yes.
to describe it to other people.
Yes,
So
exactly.
That's the main thing is like, how can we describe this music? That's kind of what the genre's for, but
Right.
I get it. Makes sense.
Right. And I think most artists don't want labels at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think they themselves probably want their music just to be heard and not labeled.
Yeah.
And it's us, the consumers, who are like, well, we got to label it somehow for my little
Got to.
brain.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the title of the song, so I need some keywords
genre,
here.
something.
For
Yeah.
sure. I get that.
And the other one I was torn about was a Cashmere Cat song with Camila Cabello.
Okay.
And I need to pull out my phone. How embarrassing. Because guess what? I don't remember the title.
Oh man. Like I said, Spotify effect.
Yeah, I think it is. It really is. But I love the new Spotify feature that shows you're recently played.
Yes, that is very good.
Love Incredible
Ah, nice.
by Cashmere Cat is Cashmere Cat. Wow, Cashmere Cat is also a pioneer of the like glitch hyperpop sound of like, okay, this is bordering on something I can't listen to because it sounds like a truck is running over an electric piano. But maybe on the second listen, and then catch me in my room dancing to like random loud explosions.
Yes. Oh, I love it. So yeah, that I was wondering, like, what instances do you find yourself listening to these songs, I guess?
Right. So on Emma's and My episode, the previous one, we talked about how we used to be very Lana Del Rey, Lana Del Rey vinyl, very like peaceful. I want some like sad, mournful, where's my daddy with all my money song about the beach. And that's what I would drive to.
Right.
I would love to be like, I am peace. And I think that literally made me like a more peaceful driver. Now, I will be honest with you, I don't like driving around Colorado Springs and I don't like driving around Denver.
Oh man.
I just felt like as of recently, I needed something to keep me awake.
Yeah.
So yes, I'll have random explosions and like gun popping piano noises to keep me driving. And it has made me an absolute maniac. Like I have been whipping around this town. I have been zooming. And I'm like, is it the Charlie X played at like max volume in my car that's influencing me to do this? Probably. If it was Lana Del Rey piano, I'd probably be nice and slow and patient. And I'm like, yellow light, go.
Just go
like,
through it. Why not? That's so funny because I feel that someone who's done a ton of long drives is like, at one point you just need something to keep you awake. So it's like, I need a good like pattern interrupt here where it's like, I've been listening to indie pop music for maybe the last hour and a half. Like I need to listen to something that's completely different. I remember one time I was driving like on the to Denver and I was like falling asleep, man. So I never listened to Impulsive with Logan Paul, but I just put it on because I'm like, I know this isn't totally different. I'm sure they're very energetic. But would I listen to this if I was in a very chill mood? Probably not. I just need this to wake me up because I know it has to be out of pocket in some way, right?
Yes, so, like it'll keep you thinking. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. So I feel that to an extent. But yeah, that's funny. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what was going on. And honestly, that Hudson, I do think had a better taste in music.
Really? I think I said Mount Joy. My Vibe is a song that I've liked, but I think when it comes down to my most listened Spotify artist, to give some context, my most listened artist in general, because Spotify is the only place I really listen to music. Last year it was Jungle. I love Jungle so much.
Nice.
They make some really good music that just gets me in a dancing mood, even though I don't dance. Maybe I'd consider it for them, but that being
for
said,
you I might dance.
yes, for sure. I love their music. It's very upbeat. And their music videos, I always connect to visuals I've seen, and I know you and Clay were talking about how visuals for a music video can maybe ruin how you'd see like a song, and maybe you're not going to listen to it the same way you thought you would because you saw that. But they always have the same vibe of like, it's always just a one take of just a bunch of dancers in very aesthetic, fashionable clothing, just doing a dance number while the Steadicam's just like roaming around, and it's in really cool environments, and I love that so much. It's just, and it's like that every time. So I don't know, there's something about that I really like. That being said, this year I don't think it's going to be them because they didn't have a new album this year. I like to listen to newer music if possible, but there's this guy named Golden Vessel. I don't know if you've heard of him, but
I feel like I have.
Yeah, very chill, like indie electronic chill vibes, and it's like very good driving music. I think Hesitate
awesome.
is something that I've been listening to for the past like months actually, and it puts
sweet.
me in a good mood when you're just driving like home and it's sunrise or sunset. So that is like A1 driving music, and because of that, it's going to be my most listened to artist, I feel like, at the end of the year. But,
Okay, cool.
oh, I love Khalid in high school. Obviously,
Yes.
American Teen, I think, was the name of the
that's
album.
the best one.
That got me through high school. I feel like that was like a no skip album for me. Like one of the first I ever listened to.
Yes.
Khalid now, I think I need to listen to more. I listened to Skyline. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Yes,
obviously.
That's what I'm saying. The Charlie XCX leaning.
Yes.
Everyone's heading that way with like the like upbeat isn't afraid to make it quirky though. They don't.
Right.
I feel like people are really afraid to make a generic upbeat pop song.
Yeah.
So now when they're like tasked to make an upbeat pop song, they're like, we're gonna go the Charlie XCX hyperpop way and make it kind of crazier.
Yeah.
And honestly, my favorite part of that song is the beginning.
Yeah.
With the like vocoder. I love that trend.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
The incoming before it even kicks off.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I just love whenever they like do something super weird with their voice or make it super odd. Like even before this new wave of music was always pro auto-tune.
Really?
When people were like, Hudson, no, auto-tune, I hate that sound. I'm like, no. Auto-tune. I love when someone makes they're clearly not even singing the notes right.
Yes.
But they've auto-corrected themselves so crazy to like fit it. I love that sound.
I do too.
There must be something wrong with us.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with us. I think I enjoy it when Kanye does it. I like when Kanye does it.
Oh yeah, Kanye definitely.
And he needs to 100%. But it's like I enjoy when he does it, and yeah, I think it's definitely a choice when you decide to do that, and I like it. Most of the time, it's hard for me to not like it, but I agree. Yeah, most pop artists don't want to make a generic sounding song.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
So I can respect that. I can respect going outside of your boundaries and trying something different, or whatever Charlie XCX is doing.
Yes, definitely just that times two, probably.
Yeah, probably.
And Khalid came out with a new. It's big, so I definitely think it's an album, but it's not maybe big enough for. It maybe is an EP.
Maybe.
But Alicia Keys is on there.
Oh.
I think. How do you say his name? It's like Six. Black. Six.
I never know with that either. I heard people say Six Lack. I hear people say like
exactly
Black. I don't know.
Okay,
man.
let me find the album.
Yes.
It is called. Oh, he has a new single.
Really?
Okay, so this one actually came out. It came out in 2021, but
yeah,
I kind of do that with Spotify. I like lag to check artists sometimes, and I'll be like, "Whoa, a whole new thing."
Yeah.
But yeah, Scenic Drive, The Tape.
The Tape.
JID.
Nice.
Mahid Jordan. Once again, probably butchering that.
Yeah.
Mahid
Jordan.
Whatever.
Oh,
it's good.
Man.
It's definitely perfect driving music, and that's maybe like his core trait.
Yeah.
Is good driving music.
Yes, and I love to drive, so it's like if I can listen to you while driving, like
you've reached A+, right?
Yes,
right.
Yes, for sure.
So yeah, that one I would check out. It's definitely something that I don't think got promoted very much because I didn't hear of it, and now it's 2022, but it came out last year, and it's still a banger.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even know. I just assumed this was the first thing he made since. And again, I don't know the album title, and this is on me because I literally have a CD of this it came out 2019. I know it had Self.
Oh, Free Spirit.
Yeah, Free Spirit.
That one I have on vinyl.
Really?
I don't know why, but I think I found it and I got lucky. So
that's so funny. I had a CD because I was supposed to go on this road trip to this concert with like a group of friends, and I was like, wow, this is gonna be awesome. We got the CD, came with the tickets, and everyone bailed except me and this other girl. So it's like, well, we'll keep the CDs. We'll sell the tickets.
Oh, you sold them?
Yes, because we couldn't. I think it's like, yeah, at the moment, I don't know what it was, but yeah, we were so ready to go, and then things just fell apart.
Dang it. I know how that feels, though. It's happened so much.
Yes.
It happens more than you think.
Oh, yes. It's very, like, it's a huge accomplishment when a road trip/trip can make it out of the group chat. So it's
actually make it to fruition, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like, that obviously failed, but it happens most of the time, I feel like.
Yes. Anymore, when people bail out, I still go. Yeah. And I've been having the time of my life.
That's good.
You'd be surprised how easy it is to make friends in a crowd of people who like the same artist.
Yeah.
Because all you gotta do is just spew out a couple songs you like, and then they'll be like, "Here's my favorite songs.
I love that
We're
song.
besties."
Right.
Like when I went to see Charlie, I just went by myself because there were scheduling conflicts with everyone else, and I was like, "Well, I'm not missing this."
Fair enough.
And then I just met a couple girls in the front who were hilarious.
Yeah.
And we got along great.
That's so cool. Maybe it's, for me, I don't know. I feel like you're a pretty outgoing, sociable person, approachable for sure. So I'm like, I know there's this thing called Decadence where it's a ton of EDM artists. Last time it happened was 2019, then COVID happened. And then it happened this past year. It's always on New Year's. And I love any chance to watch Louis the Child. And it even had Chainsmokers, which I feel like would be a cool high school throwback.
Yes, they're like a classic now.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like seeing them, and there's a ton of other cool EDM artists. Overall, it's a rave. But I want to go to one, but I'm like, none of my friends really vibe with that. And I'm like, I really thought, should I just go by myself and figure it out?
Right?
I don't know. I
People
just love
do
the
that.
energy. Yeah, 100%.
It definitely is a task.
Yes.
Because I love going with someone you know and being like, I can like hang out with you if I don't have anyone I know.
Yeah, for sure.
But it definitely takes a toll on you at a festival. I think it would be like a lot.
Oh yeah.
At a concert, I feel like it's not that hard because you're all kind of stuck together and then you leave. So the worst thing that happens is you don't talk to anyone.
Yeah.
You go home.
True.
Festival, you'd have to like really make some friends. But
Yeah.
I have made friends at festivals too.
Really?
I just kind of, at festivals, it's more just like, it is awkward initially because you're not going to talk about an artist probably.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, where is the water fountain?
Oh my
And
gosh, yes.
Hi, I'm waiting for the porta potty. And then that's how I made my friends at festivals. It's
Really?
just like
That's
standing around
so
being like, so yeah, the portable sink doesn't work.
Yes.
And then I'll be like, ew.
Oh my
Want to walk
gosh.
to another porta potty together? And like
I
that's how
love
it works.
That makes total sense though. I remember this last Decadence 2019, someone definitely passed out. And I was close. That's when the Camelback comes in clutch.
Oh,
so we don't
yes.
have to leave. But it's like, yeah, you need to hydrate because there's a ton of people just right next to you.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I thought that would change with after COVID, but it seems like we're back to normal quick.
When Astro World happened after COVID, I was like,
Oh.
I thought we were through this getting people a little too close together thing.
Yeah.
I was because it just, the inverse happened of what we should have done. We should have been like, this taught us a little bit about life. We should make some stricter rules.
Right.
And they were like, JK, y'all wanted to come back so bad. We're gonna oversell the concert and kill people.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. And that happened this year? Was
Right?
it this year? Gosh, I forget.
It's very recent.
Yes. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. Was that the venue's fault? Was that Travis's fault?
Yes.
Everyone's,
Well,
I'm sure.
I watched a video about it, and the whole design of the stage was an upside down cross. Maybe should have seen that one coming.
Yeah.
But it actually was not necessarily the fact it was an upside down cross that was bad. It's just the design of an upside down cross is a pillar down the center and then a beam more towards the bottom.
Yeah.
And of course, he probably thought he was super cool and edgy doing this. There's actually a reason why no one's ever done that, because it's a full like 3-cornered choke point, whereas most artists will just have a singular walkout.
Yeah.
And that's because it's going to release in 2 directions.
Yeah.
And then the pressure is going to build towards the walkway when the artist is on it, and then towards the stage when the
Right.
artist is on the stage.
Yeah.
What happened at Travis's is the people were cramming in, going around the bottom of the upside down cross, and then not really being able to see how cramped it was. And that was where the people passed away, is because when he walked out onto the center point, I don't know what to call that, just the walkway.
Right.
It crushed the people who had gotten into that further back corner, because it only could release left or right, you know?
Yeah.
It couldn't release backward. So the people who should have just been able to back out of the concert and leave were now stuck in this corner because of the upside down cross sticking out.
Oh man.
And it's just devastating because
Yeah.
number one, I wouldn't be making my stage design upside down cross. I'd much rather have all that on my side.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I need to be summoning demons at my concerts.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't even matter if it's an upside down cross at all. That design is unintelligent it's going to be the what's the reverse of that?
Infamous. Yeah.
Infamous stage that killed people.
Right. Yeah. 100%. That is. Yeah. I didn't even know that was a stage design. It's crazy how that happens. Wow. That is.
Yes.
Yeah. So it seems like it's a bit of everyone's fault here, especially
right.
with the venue being. I don't know if it was it the venue that was okay with them going past the capacity of what they could hold.
Right, and I know that people who were outside tore down the fences and ran in anyway.
True, yeah.
Like it was a mess in every department.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely needed.
And now I'm going to be very attentive to. Now I understand you need 2 openings.
Yes.
You should have 2 ways to run in a concert just in case something happens. If
right.
you look around you and there's stage, and the only way you can go is backwards, don't push forward anymore because you could get crushed.
Yes, 100%. Oh, wow. That right? is. And now I'm wondering, has Travis Scott released anything since then?
Right.
How long is he going to try to wait this out until he can drop new music?
Right. He reappeared in the public eye on Instagram or something the other day, very recently.
Yeah.
And the news was ablaze. It was
really?
Travis Scott's first appearance since Astroworld.
Dang.
And I feel like it is going to be very odd because he definitely can't come back in some full force because people will be like, go away.
Yeah. It's do you not remember what just happened?
Do you have a favorite Louis the Child song?
Oh, yes. I think Go. Go was the first one that ever introduced me into Louis the Child.
Okay.
Because I remember I first heard it, and this is when I was in high school, and I was very oh man, what are people going to think of my music taste? I can't listen to songs I actually like.
Oh, right, exactly.
I can't do that. So, but I remember hearing it on an Apple commercial about an iPad, and they used Go by Louis the Child, and I'm like, wow, this is a really good song. I like that. But I remember I was listening to it one time. My brother Simon came in. And he was like, are you listening to freaking Apple commercial music? And I felt ashamed. I was like, no, it's a good song. And he's like, dude, you're weird. And
oh my word.
I was like, Apple picks really great music for the commercials, 100%. But that was my first introduction to them. And then I remember listening to Love Is Alive, when I worked at this Mexican grill. I just listened to it while I was making salsa. And it's I love Love Is Alive. And I don't know about their EPs recently. I haven't really been able to feel them that well. But yeah, I think they had a remix of Blase, which was originally by Future.
Oh, yeah.
And that was one that I listened to at Decadence in 2019. And that really hooked me to listen to more of their music. And from there, I feel like it always changes. But that's the one I probably have listened to the most by far.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely agree with you that Apple commercials, it solidified my taste.
Yes.
When something was an Apple commercial that I liked, I was like, I have taste. My other question that I've been trying to ask people is album. If you have something broader than just a song, just an album.
Man, an album in general, I think the first one that comes into mind is by Jungkook. Last year they came out with Loving in Stereo. For me, I love their music so much that every single album they've came out with is a no skip. It just puts me in a good mood.
Mm-hmm. They're good.
Very great mood. I love Jungkook so much. So it's cool because I think one night they opened for Billie Eilish. I thought that was so cool because I'm please give them love. This band is so underrated.
Yes, they're on the Duckworth level.
Yes.
Of the right sound for her.
Right. So it's hopefully they ride that wave and just get huge. But yeah, Loving in Stereo, there's a lot of different ones that I liked. I think Romeo featuring Boss was a really good song that I feel strayed away from a bit of what they normally do in a good way. It accentuated their sound by having this rapper on. But yeah, I love that album so much. It's no wonder they're my most listened to artist. I just had that on repeat constantly. So
that's sweet. That's a good one.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know of any skips by them. They're just incredible.
Yes. No, I love them.
My recent discovery I've made is a band called Stray Fossa, and they're pretty small. They actually don't have that many plays.
Yeah.
But they are putting out some bangers.
Ooh.
There was an album that just came out a while ago that I was listening to, and then they just came out with a new one called Closer Than We'll Ever Know.
Yeah.
And the album cover is beautiful.
Ooh. Oh, I love that.
I'll make sure to add it for the audience to see.
Yes.
And it's just so good because I just add all the songs because it's when I trust an artist, I'll just be add the whole thing to the playlist, and then I do the reverse. I'll be like, okay, remove. From artists I know that I'm gonna have way more likes than removes.
Right.
Of like, okay, maybe I don't love all of them, but I know I'm gonna like most of them.
Right.
And the other one is called With You Forever.
Yeah.
And this cover is also very unique. It's not as cool.
Yes. I still love it though.
It's very cool, and they're definitely in the like psychedelia kind of genre of kind of some psychedelic 70s 80s rock.
Okay.
But also it sounds very modern.
Yes.
And it's great for driving. Like you were mentioning, some things are just so perfect for just going on a little drive.
Yes.
I drove here listening to it.
Nice. What was the artist name again?
Stray Fossa.
How do you spell that last part?
Fossa.
Fossa. Okay.
And I believe it is 3 of them. And this new album is going off. They are getting quite a few plays now. One of them has hit 200,000.
Oh, great.
And then one from the other album has hit 400,000. But most of them have like 10,000 plays.
Okay.
Which is obviously not like the most independent artist you ever heard of. Mm-hmm. There's always someone with some less plays, but it's still like pretty impressive that they are like so talented and have not blown up yet.
Yeah.
I hope they hit 1 million on something.
I'm glad you're not a gatekeeper.
Yes, I'm not a gatekeeper, especially with music. I'm like, why not all enjoy?
Yes, for sure. I just want to be known that like, I stuck with them in the beginning.
Yes.
And I want to put you on.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
I'm not going to gatekeep, but I will tell you to tell me if you're telling other people about them, because it technically is me.
Yes.
It all goes back to me.
Yes, for sure. You need to be reminded.
Yes.
You need to be reminded that I put you on.
Yes,
don't forget that.
Exactly.
But,
That's what hopefully this podcast can be.
Yes.
Even if they don't remember our names, they'll remember that podcast put me on to good music.
Yes.
Like
that's a good brand. That's a good line.
Right?
I like
and
that line.
I love how all my guests have had such diverse taste.
Really?
And I feel like I've been trying to bring my diverse taste to the table as well, and not like repeating myself too much with stuff. And I feel like so far this would be a great playlist.
That's good.
And I feel like maybe at the end when I reach like a good transitional point in the podcast, I'll make a little playlist.
That'd be cool to have like episode 2 playlist or episode 3 playlist,
like everything we mentioned, so you can go through. Yeah, that'd be so fun.
I love that. I listen to that a lot, 100%.
Right, and like it can be an easier way to find everything.
Yeah, oh for sure, because they don't have to search everything up. It's just check it out. It puts your profile on.
Right there, click right there. Yeah.
Wherever it is, but
literally anywhere with YouTube anymore, I'm like, is it up, down, left, right? Will I get banned? Like,
it's changed so much.
Well, thank you so much, Joel. This has been really good.
Of course. Thanks for having me. This is so fun.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm so excited that we got to be in Clay's lovely house.
Yes. Thank you, Clay.
Thank you, Clay, wherever you are. He's shooting a scene recreation for a film festival right now.
Yep. Something I suggested to them, but I knew immediately that Clay and the other guy, Jared, that's helping, would completely handle it because I have no idea how to do it. But
well, go you for suggesting it. That seems like they're really going off.
I'm glad they are. I'd love to just see them make something killer. But
yes. Yeah. So we got to use our time as being little worthless blokes in the living room as they are doing their magic. We'll go check in on them. And thank you guys so much for watching. And stay tuned for the next episode. I don't even know who the next guest will be. And that's the fun of it.
That's the
Every episode's different, baby.
Yeah. Let's go.
I think I'm so used to Premiere crashing that any like Apple anything is like so much more stable.
Yeah.